Gentleman from Texas.
2 minutes to the distinguished gentleman from Florida, the former Republican Conference chairman and probably future governor of Florida, Mr. Putnam.
I thank my friend from
recognized for
Texas.
2 minutes.
I thank you, Mr. Speaker. I rise to support this bill that is built on a bipartisan foundation, and I want to thank my friend from California, Mr. Costa, who worked with a number of us to put together a strong food safety bill, and many of the key principles embedded in that bill have been built into the bill that we're debating here today. This is an issue that brings together America's farmers and ranchers and the consumers. There is no difference or distinction between the interests of those two parties. As the FDA's false information about the tomatoes implicated in the foodborne illness outbreak illustrates, when there is false information out there, the industry suffers. And when there is foodborne illness out there, consumer confidence is eroded. Both of those outcomes are unacceptable. So there is a need for both sides to come together on this, and I'm proud that this is a bipartisan effort. I would highlight some issues, though, that need additional work as this moves into the Senate. Most importantly, the quarantine and traceability issues need further work. And as well, the work that is done by our state and local departments of health and departments of agriculture. They are delegated 80% of FDA's authority to implement most of this bill and the other responsibilities of FDA. They must have better coordination and cooperation from the FDA in implementing this legislation as well as the rest of the food safety mandates already in the law. But overall, it is important that this nation move forward with a modernization of the food safety system, some of which have not been built upon since the Teddy Roosevelt administration. It is important to our farmers and ranchers, and it is important to our consumers. So for that reason, I am proud to stand in support of this bill and urge its passage, recognizing that there are issues that we need to continue to work with our friends and colleagues in the Senate on. And with that, Mr. Speaker, I yield back.
Time has expired. Gentleman from Michigan.
Mr. Speaker, I yield at this time to the distinguished chairman of the Agriculture Committee Subcommittee on Food Safety,